are Walmart and other major U.S. retailers canceling billions of dollars in orders as summer comes to an end? Walmart, Target, and other major retailers are working really hard to get prepared for what is coming. Michael Schneider writes on Collective Spark, "Do they know something that they aren't telling us? As you'll see below, Walmart, Target, and other major U.S. retailers are literally canceling billions of dollars in orders ahead of the coming holiday season. I've never heard of such a thing happening before, and under normal conditions it won't make any sense at all. The holiday season is typically the busiest time of the year for retailers, and at this time in 2021, there was actually a great deal of concern that there would not be enough inventory due to global supply chain problems. But now everything has changed. All of a sudden, major retailers are feverishly canceling orders, and this would only make sense if a severe economic downturn was imminent. For example, Walmart is admitting that it has canceled billions of dollars in orders as we approach the upcoming holiday season. John David Rainey, Walmart's EVP and CFO, said it had cleared most summer inventory, was reducing exposure in electronics, home, and sporting goods, and canceled billions of dollars in orders to realign inventories. He said, "Our action in Q3 will allow us to make significant progress towards rationalizing absolute levels and mix, which will enable our stores to be well positioned ahead of the holiday season." It's extremely odd that Walmart would decide to do such a thing. Recently, I had an opportunity to stroll through a Walmart, and there were plenty of inventory holes. So what would make them suddenly cancel billions of dollars in orders that they thought that they were going to need for the holiday season? Perhaps some enterprising reporter will be willing to ask them such a question. Meanwhile, we just learned that Target has also canceled more than $1.5 billion in orders. Target said it had reduced its inventory exposure in discretionary categories throughout Q2 by canceling more than $1.5 billion of orders in these categories and marking down products. Target is much smaller than Walmart is, and so for Target to cancel so many orders is a really big deal. And it turns out that Kohl's and Under Armour have also been canceling large numbers of orders as well. Kohl's has also pulled back on order receipts and increased promotions to get through an inventory glut. Quote, "We have taken action to address inventory, including increasing promotions, being aggressive on clearing excess inventory, and pulling back on receipts," unquote, said Kohl's CFO Jill Timm in a call with investors. Under Armour also said it made some proactive cancellations due to supply chain constraints to ensure that the right inventory was coming in at the right time, said interim president CEO Colin Brown in a call with investors. These retailers are obviously scared that they will end up stuck with massive amounts of inventory that they cannot sell. Do they believe that economic activity during the months ahead will be much lower than they originally anticipated? One corporate executive that's actually publicly admitting that he believes that a recession is coming is FedEx CEO Raj Subramanian. FedEx CEO Subramanian told CNBC Jim Cramer on Thursday that he believes a recession is impending for the global economy. Quote, "I think so, but these numbers, they don't portend very well," end quote, Subramanian said in a response to Cramer's question of whether the economy is going into a worldwide recession. The CEO's pessimism came after FedEx missed estimates on revenue and earnings in its first quarter. The company also withdrew its full-year guidance. Sadly, he is right on target. For months, I've been warning that the economic numbers were telling us that big trouble was on the way, and now everyone can see it. But unlike the Great Recession of 2008-2009, this time we're also going to have to deal with raging inflation, even as economic activity slows down all around us. In fact, the Wall Street Journal is ominously warning that U.S. consumers, quote, "are set to pay even more this winter," end quote, as heating costs continue to soar to absolutely ridiculous levels. Now I'd like to show you the video just before this one. Something very strange happening in the European Union, in that Sweden is going to be in on digital currency as of January 1st, 2023, and is accepting the Great Reset. And Sweden's day rate energy is very cheap compared to everything else going on in Europe. So you can understand something very strange is going on. Now, going back to this, U.S. utility customers faced with some of their largest bills in years are set to pay even more this winter as natural gas prices continue to climb. Natural gas prices have more than doubled this year because of the global supply shortage made worse by the war in Ukraine, and they're expected to remain elevated for months as fuel is needed to light and heat homes during the winter. The supply crunch has made it substantially more expensive for utilities to purchase or produce power, and those costs are being passed on to the customers. The cost of living has been rising much faster than our paychecks have for quite some time now, and a lot more pain is on the horizon. I really like to know how Brandon Smith recently summarized the current state of the U.S. economy. A common refrain from people who are critical of alternative economists is that we have been predicting crisis for so long that eventually we will be right. These are generally people who don't understand the nature of economic decline. It's like an avalanche that builds up over time, then breaks and quickly escalates as it flows down the mountain. What they don't grasp is that they are in the middle of an economic collapse right now, and that they just can't see it because they've been acclimated to the presence of the snow and cold. Economic decline is a process that takes many years, and while you might get an event like the market crash of 2029 or the crash of 2008, these moments of panic are nothing more than the wreckage left behind by the great wave of tumbling ice that everyone should have seen coming far in advance, but they refused. That is so true. We're already in the midst of a raging economic crisis, but things will get so much worse during the months and years to come. Walmart, Target, and other major retailers are working really hard to get prepared for what's coming. Are you? I hope so, because at this point, it should be glaringly obvious to everyone that exceedingly challenging times are on the way. Views expressed in this article are the opinions of the author and do not necessarily reflect the views of Collective Spark or me. And this is by Michael Schneider. He says, "My name is Michael Schneider. My brand new book, entitled 7-Year Apocalypse, is now available on Amazon. In addition to my new book, I have written 5 others that are available on Amazon. Lost Prophecies of the Future of America, The Beginning of the End, Get Prepared Now, and Living a Life That Really Matters. Commissions earned. By purchasing the books, you help to support the work that my wife and I are doing, and by giving it to others, you help to multiply the impact that we're having on people over the globe. I've published thousands of articles on the Economic Collapse blog, The End of the American Dream, and The Most Important News. And the articles that I publish on those sites are republished on dozens of other prominent websites all over the globe. I always freely and happily allow others to republish my articles on their own websites, but I also ask that they include this about the author section with each article. That's what I'm doing here. The material contained in this article is for general information purposes only, and readers should consult licensed professionals before making any legal, business, financial, or health decisions. I encourage you to follow me on social media, Facebook and Twitter. And anyway, you can share these articles with others, a great help. During these very challenging times, people would need hope more than ever before, and it's our goal to share the gospel of Jesus Christ with as many people as we possibly can." This is by Michael Schneider, guest writer on Collective Spark. Please leave your comments. Thank you for your support. Kindly support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.